Krampus. Everyone's favorite hairball half-demon. Terrifying the young and amusing the old for centuries. His true origins are shadowed in Alpine folklore, and his mere existence has been quite the cause for controversy over time. From his early role as St. Nicholas's counterpart, who punishes naughty children and drags them to hell, to a temporary ban on Krampus in Austria in the 1930s, up to the now explosive Krampus resurgence in pop culture in recent years. Krampus has always loomed in the shadows, waiting for his time to shine. Salutations, witnesses. Today's subject for observation is Krampus, the crafty kidnapper who went from Christmas curmudgeon to cosplayer's Kaiser in one Krampusnacht. Just a reminder that we uplink videos like these to the timeline as frequently as our technology allows. So if you've just found us, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications to make sure you never miss an opportunity to witness with us. The true beginnings of the Krampus mythos has been all but lost to history, but most sources point to early crypto-pagan, Wiccan, and pre-Christian customs in the central and eastern Alps of Europe. This mountainous region sees many countries drawing borders on her slopes. Austria, Germany, Switzerland, Slovenia, Italy, and even parts of France. It's in these high and remote areas where Krampus may have been born out of the mythology of the Horned God, and where stories of spirits and elves, whom are both helpful and hurtful, aren't too uncommon. The Krampus legend may be but a leftover remnant of days past, when witch covens performed their ritual rites with their cauldrons gleaming in the moonlighty night. The Krampusnacht, or Krampusnacht, is the evening of December 5th, when Krampus stalks his way throughout the streets, visiting homes and businesses. He's sometimes accompanied by St. Nicholas himself, but not the Western 20th century jolly old Saint Nick, but rather Sinterklaas, the legendary figure based on the early Christian bishop of the Roman Empire, the patron saint of children, among many other things. It is Krampus' job to supply coal and bundles of sticks, called ruten, to children that St. Nicholas passes over. In some versions of the legend, Krampus takes the gifts St. Nicholas gives and replaces them with his own sticks. However, if the children have been especially bad, Krampus has other plans in mind for them. The word Krampus itself is derived from the Old High German Krampen, meaning claw, though his claws are hardly his most frightening characteristic. Krampus' appearance has often been open to the imagination's interpretations, though he is commonly described as a half-demon, half-goat creature, with a long, protruding tongue, fangs, and horns. He is very hairy, and often shown with one human foot, one cloven hooved foot, and the tail of a goat. Krampus sometimes wears bells, and he is nearly always seen carrying bundles of birch sticks, which he uses to whip children who have misbehaved during the year. He is also usually depicted with either a sack or a basket on his back, which he uses to snatch up terrible children, with the intent to eat them, drown them, or cart them back to the depths of hell. Krampus is almost always bound in chains, which may be an allusion to the Christian Church's attempts at binding the devil. Anthropologist John J. Honigmann wrote in 1975 that masked devils are known in Germany since at least the 16th century, while animal masked devils appeared in medieval church plays. Austrians in the communities we studied are quite aware of heathen elements being blended with Christian elements in the St. Nicholas customs. They believed Krampus derives from the pagan supernatural who was assimilated to the Christian devil. Krampus traditions were even prohibited in Austria in 1932, as decreed by the then newly formed Fatherland Front, or VF, short for Vaterlandische Front, a far-right nationalist and corporatist political party that was backed by the Catholic Church. The VF was founded by Austrian Chancellor and Christian social politician Engelbert Dollfuss, and one of its main goals was Austrian independence from Germany. Even though the VF didn't care much for Krampus, they put a ban on the Nazi Party too, so I guess they weren't all bad. Regardless, Chancellor Dollfuss was assassinated in 1934, and just a few years later, the VF was forced to disband the day after the Nazis annexed Austria on March 12, 1938. Krampus' lovely likeness has been the inspiration for some devilishly imaginative greeting cards since the 1800s, known as Krampuskarten. On the cards are often written Gruß von Krampus, or Greetings from Krampus. The Krampuskarten generally show him either preying upon children, whipping them, pulling at their ears and hair, or stuffing them in his sack. Some of the more adult-themed pieces have Krampus seducing women with his charismatic charm and sophisticated style. He apparently has quite the wardrobe back home in hell, and is occasionally seen out wearing his nicest designer suits. For a half-goat, half-demon, he can clean up pretty well. Many Alpine towns hold an annual Krampuslauf, or Krampus Run, on December 5th. The runs customarily take place before the nighttime feast of St. Nicholas. During these Krampus runs, mostly young men dress as Krampus and parade through the streets to terrify women and children. It is customary to have an offering of schnapps and a poem to appease the ill-tempered Krampus if he happens to turn his gaze upon you. The festivities may also include some paraders dressed as Perchten, the entourage of a once revered goddess in Alpine paganism, taking the form of either a beautiful maiden or an old witchy hag. Perchta is another wild spirit in Bavarian and Austrian folklore. She is said to roam the countryside at midwinter, entering homes during the 12 days of Christmas. She knows if the children or young servants have behaved well and worked hard all year or not. If they were good for goodness sake, she may leave a small coin for them to find the next day. However, if they failed to meet her expectations, Perchta slits open their bellies, removes their stomach and internal organs, and stuffs the whole with straw and pebbles. It's no wonder Perchta and Krampus hang out together. They're a match made in hell. The more one learns about Krampus, the easier it is to draw parallels between the current cultural landscape and these older, obscure pagan customs that have been swallowed up and bastardized over the years. The Western concept of Santa Claus was born out of early 19th century European immigrants' winter traditions, tales, and figures they brought with them to the New World. Santa is a mixture of the historical Saint Nicholas, the 4th century Greek bishop and renowned gift-giver we have previously mentioned, the British Father Christmas, the Dutch Sinterklaas, and possibly even the old Germanic deity Wodan. Americans may have phased Krampus out of their holiday stories, but he and his ilk still linger in the traditions of the day. Rather than Krampus leaving coal and Perchta leaving coin, Santa has taken up both of these roles. Instead of mischievous companions who follow St. Nicholas to punish unruly children, of which many different cultures have variations of, the West gives Santa elves to do his dirty work, which are also borrowed from ancient European folklore. It seems no matter how hard they may try to suppress Krampus, his stock rises more and more each passing year. Krampus merch is growing exponentially due to his popularity spreading on the internet. You can get Krampus t-shirts, Krampus coffee mugs, Krampus Christmas ornaments, Krampus face masks, stickers, candles, cookie cutters, bells. You can order yourself an entire Krampus costume. Of course, there are Krampus grocery tote bags too. Why wouldn't there be? Krampus has been the subject of full-length horror comedies, referenced in numerous pop culture television shows, and even now parts of North America are starting to hold their own Krampuslauf to carry on the time-honored tradition of getting dressed up like a demon, loading up on liquor, and scaring the crap out of small children. I hope you enjoyed our little look into Krampus. That's a wrap on this uplink. You feel like maybe you have something for us to witness? Don't be afraid to share it. The ITC looks into everything. So until next uplink, remember, learn from your past. Don't let it determine your future.
What kind of kinky Christmas spirit is that?
It is Germanic in origin.
Hey, what the hell? Oh, for the love of the... Oh, that's the last... Okay.